All right, we're going to take a look at, there's two main switches we do from Hubud, for Hubud to go from the left to right side and back and forth. We'll do one at a time. The first one is the inside switch, okay? And what it looks like is if we're Hubuding here, life is good, and I'm going to go to the inside to get the switch. So I go inside and I punch, and then he picks it up with this hand, and now we're on the left side of Hubud, right? So 1, 2, 3. Nobody really practiced it, which is maybe as it should be. So now, one more time, as this comes up, when he punches, 1, 2, 3, come on up, I'm going to pick this up and pass it over here, clear up and in, and do this. And a little bit of a theory, what's going on is, if you look at normal or left-handed Hubud, I go right, left, right. That's the motions that I make, right? But if we're doing right-handed Hubud, it's left, right, left. But I want to switch over, keep going, to left-handed Hubud. So what I do is I just start doing it. So I'll do, oh, now I go to the inside of his arm. Right, left, right, and then I punch. And that's one of the transitions. Now, part of the problem is this, is if we turn this way just a little bit so the kind of camera sees, when he punches me right in the nose, it's really hard as I'm doing this to get my hand over here to move it to the side. So what I want to do is, if we go through it once, and now as he comes, this hand, my right hand picks up his punch, and I'm going to guide it to my left shoulder, okay? Then I sweep up to the inside, I check down and I punch. And that's super important, right? So one more time, against the left hand, he punches, I go right, left, right. And then now we're in left-handed Hubud, which nobody likes. But I want to switch over. So what I'll do is go left, right, left. I go to the inside of it. And you have to plan this in advance. So I pick it up as his punch is coming out. My hand comes up and I bring it over here. I clear and I check and I punch. Right? So you really want to practice that, but you got to go slow. So when we're doing this, nice and slow, my punching hand comes to the inside and I pick up his punch as he extends it and I bring it to my shoulder. I have to clear that center. It's really hard to do it here, right? Wedge that up, check it down, and then punch. Right? You want to try it? Sure. All right. Not yet. Punch. Clear and punch. Now punch. 1, 2, 3. Now this hand comes here. Brings it to that shoulder. Yeah, gravy. Now, you're like, well, that's pretty good, but it takes a long time. What we can do is you can play inside and outside Hubud, right? So I'm going to stay on the inside. Try not to look at me because it'll confuse you. And I got really blue eyes, right? So I go 1, 2, 3. Now you pick it up here. You go there. And I go here. And you pick it up there. Now I'm playing inside. You're playing outside. But a lot of times if you stare at what's going on, you have a mini seizure and start drooling on yourself, and nothing really seems to work. But that's a good way to get a lot of practice doing Hubud. So that's the inside switch is what we call it. Let me know what you think, and we'll do another one in just a little bit. A big concept is what's going on is what Hubud really teaches you, or it teaches me anyway, is that I can place his arm where I want it. So if you do joint locky stuff, and I like to do a lot of joint locky stuff, what you'll find, as opposed to like trying to do a joint lock out of the air, now I know that with Hubud I can put it right here and do whatever lock that it is that I want to do, right? I can put it over here and get whatever lock that I want out of Hubud because I've learned to place his arm to any portion of the body that I want, right? Right? Now, you'd be surprised, a lot of us don't know that we can do left-handed Hubud. We call it, in a lot of schools, they'll call it brush pass pin, or brush trap pin, something like that, right? So if I'm here and it's, oh, we're all combative, dun, dun, eye of the tiger, and he throws a straight punch, and I go, 1, 2, 3. Oh, right? Well, we've done that a bunch, but we didn't know what it was. That's the switch to Hubud, right? Because it's normally, the switch is right, left, right. But now when I do it combatively, I go 1, 2, Judy chop, or whatever it is that you want to do to him there. That's just the switch. I just repurpose it a little bit.